everybody. Welcome back to episode, I believe, 4 of the Other Side podcast. We've had a bit of a break because, let's all be honest, DSA was a drag and kind of a joke there for a little bit. It was getting irritating, and I had to just step away before I punched the computer. But we're back now, and we've got a new, fresh set of faces. Black Spire, unfortunately, is no more. We folded, we've gone our separate ways, but we do have some beautiful, beautiful people in here, including some alumni. Up first, we got the wonderful whaliest of whales. That is true in his new home. And correct me if I'm wrong, is that Frontierland you are in?
Yes, it is.
Welcome to Frontierland, a top 3 club, right?
I think we're number 1 right now with this big hero event.
Sounds good. And then coming at it from the other side, from my new wonderful crew, club, whatever you want to call it, Finding Miko is our illustrious leader and the leader of this podcast. She's going to have a lot of great points. That is Miko. Miko, what's up?
Hi.
Hi, Miko. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we've finally got him on the podcast, the one and only. He's a raging man. It's Bude. He's with us in Finding Miko. Bude, what's going on, my dude?
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, guys. So we have got 4 wonderful topics we're going to talk about today. A lot has happened with Update 13 and everything that came with it and the new stuff that's come out, blah, 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 blah. And the only thing more we could really hope for is a testing team at Glue to make sure there were no bugs when it happened. But you know what? We'll hold up hope for that for another day. So let's go ahead and start off. Big Hero 6. The crew is here. I just watched the movie today, so I'm going to try and remember all these characters. It's Fred. It's Baymax is the legendary. It's Go-Go. It's Honey Lemon. Oh, why can't I remember? And it's Wasabi, I believe. Did I miss anyone, guys? Because I'm horrible at this game. And Disney in general.
No, you got it.
Sweet. And Hero. Sorry, Hero Hamada's there in case anybody forgot about Hero in this game. So it's dropped. It's a legendary event, just like Frozen. That means everybody but Baymax is free to play accessible, farming them out of various parts. The only real difference is they didn't put any of them in the like the Sorcerers Tournament Exchange or anything like that. They did like that with like Kristoff and Anna. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Miko start off. Miko, what is your thoughts on Big Hero 6? And who is your favorite one from what you've seen so far?
So I'll be honest, I haven't progressed that far in this event. I still don't have Baymax. It's sad. But I do have the rest of the squad. And from what I can see right now, let's remember I don't have the team. It looks like a really good defensive team in meta, but there's not a lot of damage output, so I'm not really thinking it's going to do that well in PvP or anything like that. It's definitely not going to counter Frozen in my opinion. But, I've been wrong before.
Absolutely. And that is one of the things, whereas Frozen had Elsa, it does not appear that the Big Hero 6 team has a huge damage dealer. It's something that could swing the match. But what I can say, even at low-level testing, I think Maelstrom, one of the other members of our crew, threw up a team. And I took a comparable Frozen team against it. I think it will actually annoy Frozen and could be a timeout matchup in general. The amounts of evasion, especially the speed at which Big Hero 6 is moving or seemed to move even at lower levels, was quite impressive. Bude, what's your take on it? What's your thoughts? And Miko, before he goes, what was your favorite one out of the bunch that you've seen so far or that you like their kit the best?
Oh my gosh, Go-Go. Definitely Go-Go. She's so cute.
We're going on the cuteness factor. I'm loving it. Bude,
out of usefulness, Hero. Sorry, Bude. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm just gonna go ahead and cut you off. But out of usefulness, Hero. But cuteness, Go-Go all the way.
All right, sounds good. Bude, I'm going to need, now that Miko's put it out there, I'm going to need your cutest one out there for me, and your thoughts as well.
Well, actually, the cutest one to me and probably my MVP is probably Honey Lemon. She does so much, and she kind of reminds me of what Elastigirl, how she's the engine of the Incredibles, how she operates in Big Hero 6. She has a lot of good things. Yeah.
All right, Bude, thank you very much. And True, what are you feeling, True? I think we were talking a little bit before, so I have an idea. But what are your thoughts so far and your favorite, along with cutest?
Uh, First thoughts is they're pretty good. They're not as as impactful as Frozen was, because the legendary isn't an attacker. The legendary is a tank. But for damage, I find Wasabi to be really pumping out damage once you have him at tier 7, because I have him at tier 7, and he's really putting up some numbers. So that's kind of surprised me, honestly. And I think he's really one of the MVPs. And Honey's pretty good too.
Absolutely. And from my take, what was your cute one though? What was your cute one there, True? You didn't tell me that. This is important now that it was brought up.
It's very important.
The
We,
cutest?
we won't tell your girlfriend or boyfriend who you think it is. They won't be jealous.
Oh, I'm as single as a Pringle, but cutest. Hmm. Baymax's pretty cute though, not gonna lie. He's a thick boy.
He is a very thick boy, and that he makes that armor look good, nice red and plump. I tell you, big and thick. Anywho, sorry, I was too much to drink there. Take another drink here. For my money, I actually agree with True. The more I looked at Wasabi, and I don't, guys, I only have Fred unlocked because I'm being lazy and just farming it slowly. But when I was looking at Wasabi, the amount of times he hits you on his basic, he hits the target opponent 2 times for up to a decent amount of damage, and then if it has shield or helpful effect, he hits him for more. Then his other one on a 3-turn cooldown, he hits him for 5. He's hitting for a lot, so I think once he's leveled up, I wouldn't be surprised if he shreds through, not on an Elsa level, but I want to see what he's looking like when he's up there. I think it'll be effective, but I do see that a lot of the Big Hero 6 may be more plug and play, almost like a downtown hero or a downtown villains. Like they work okay as a meta team, nothing amazing or even Incredibles, but there's 1 or 2 out of them that are plug and play and can make things better. And as far as my cutest, I mean, he's just so laughable and gullible, and he's also rich. I mean, it has got to be Fred. I mean, I'm searching for the money, so Fred's where it's at. He's got a big old house he's in, so that's where I'm at.
That's Frederick to you.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. So Big Hero 6 has come. For those of you listening, go out, farm the characters you love. Remember, this is mostly a free-to-play event, just like Frozen. You do not have to spend money. True spends money because he's a whale and had his mom's credit card. But you do not have to. Give it a round or 2. You'll go ahead and get these characters as long as you're focused. Next up, we had update number 13. And along with that, and all the changes to Club Conquest, which were positive, and other things, we got the lovely addition of a new level cap and gear. So we will be going up to, I believe, level 70 now, and gear level 8 eventually, but 7.5 right now, which is probably the silliest thing I ever heard. And the way they made it out, there has to be some sort of raid or special event coming that makes no sense. I think everyone's in agreement with that. But what's everyone's thoughts on this new gear, and specifically how long it's going to take to farm that gear? And less important, the level cap. Let's go with Bude. You go first.
Yeah, I mean, my initial thought was this is very early for these level caps and gear changes. We already have a golden gear crunch, and the fact that it's going to be so difficult to get to tier 8, I'm not sure um, how I can get to some of these abilities that are locked until you get to gear 8. Yeah.
Okay. Miko, How you feeling about having to grind out some more gear and raise that level up?
So I agree. I do think it's early. I mean, the game has only been launched globally for about 5 months now, so I do think it's too soon. But I was surprised with how not easy, but with how not hard the the pieces that would lead up to T8 were. I expected them to be a lot of more of a grind to get.
Fair
So
enough.
that was nice.
How,
And ooh, I'm just interrupting everyone tonight. I'm so
you're
sorry.
fine. You're fine. You're allowed. It's okay. Keep going.
And with the other three pieces that aren't available yet, I agree. Like, it definitely looks like a raid will be coming out, maybe not in the near future, but at some point that, in my opinion, looks like it's circled around Ursula from those little pictures that we can see.
Now, you mentioned before we get to True that it didn't strike you as hard to grind it out. Are you thinking it's a, because to me when I'm looking at it, it's not necessarily, it doesn't seem like it's that hard. It's just there's such a massive amount. Um, I almost feel like the drop rates I've gotten on them when I've tried to farm a piece or two weren't that bad, at least comparison to others. I don't know if there's a difference in the code or anything, but the sheer amount of pieces you need is what gets me and what's going to take long. How have you been using energy at all to try and get these pieces, or is that on the back burner now that Big Hero 6 is out and focusing on grinding on them?
It is on the back burner for me right now. I'm focusing on the event. And I do agree, it's just a massive amount of gears that you need. But when I peeked at everything that was required, I did expect a lot more than what was there.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Now, True, how are you feeling? I'll point out for myself that I caved and bought packs. I bought all those T7 packs right before they announced Big Hero, so that was almost like, aw. But, True, where are you at?
I bought the packs too. I don't think I bought the Kingdom ones. I've never been a fan of the Kingdom team. But for the overall update, um, I feel it doesn't affect the game too much because it's only unless you tier up the character, you don't really get that much, and not any of them really give out speed. So I don't see them affecting gameplay too much right now. But I do think they are a lot easier to get,
Gotcha.
considering how other gear is.
Absolutely. And I'll agree with you. The one that I saw affected speed, Zerg actually has a gear piece. It's his on the left hand side, the middle one does give a I think a +6 or a +7 something speed on that gear piece, but you cannot equip that gear piece till level 61. So it's still kind of gated. Um, and at first I was really nervous about a level clap. I was like, great, now I got to level these up right away, etc., etc. And then I remembered how ungodly long it takes to even get one level at the later stage in this game, and I got less worried. So the level cap doesn't bother me so much, but I do think, True, to kind of be different on your point, is I've noticed the difference in like Zerg, especially between the new gear pieces I put on him and leveling up his abilities, which we'll get to kind of next, is I've done this. So I've gone, say, even against a frozen team or something, frozen team with dash or hero, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not uncommon for me. Hero upgrades Zerg. Zerg insta kills damage dealer Zerg or dash. Zerg, and this is after he gets his like pop off ability where it hits everybody. So then Zerg then uses his rapid fire and takes out typically Elsa, so she's on her cooldown. And then go ahead and then Dash is next, and Dash takes out like their Sven. Like, it's usually a 2v5. And that's all down to how Zerg's kit was affected. So I honestly think with him specifically and others, it's going to affect a lot, because if you look at a lot of these, some of it's health, some of it's other things, but a lot of it's offense. A lot of these pieces you can put on increase the offense. So I think it's going to be more of a change than others think it is. Have any of you guys experienced any of that yet? Because that just seems to be what I'm noticing and seeing how PvP is even much easier now at the moment.
I haven't really noticed any difference. I haven't equipped any of them on. I still holding on to them, but
Gotcha.
I don't see the need to equip any of them just for what is it, 20 offense or whatever it is,
I gotcha.
70.
I think you might be impressed by it, even if it's just Zerg. And has anyone else equipped the pieces and have any experience with them yet, or am I the only um, gung ho SOB who's decided that was the right course?
Yeah, I mean, I do not play this game for gear and ruins and stones, so I have really put, the gears on the back burner. I only have one um, gear tier 7 character, um, but I haven't encountered anybody that has, those pieces equipped yet.
Gotcha. And Miko, have you decided to equip any of those pieces yet, or are you still waiting on the ability to equip all of them?
I am still patiently waiting.
So I'm just the gung ho one, and that's okay. Certainly okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. I'm a hair trigger. Shoot fast, shoot quick, all that good stuff. All right, guys. So level or update 13 came out, and along with the gear and level cap and some other things, we got essentially an improvement and an upgrade and some little nerfs here and there to characters. So right now, I want to ask everybody what they think their best improved characters are from the changes that were provided. It's a big list. I know one of you took notes. I know another one of you didn't do his homework. You're probably going to find that out as soon as you start talking to people. So, True, why don't you go ahead and tell us yours?
So I did not do my homework.
This guy, too busy wailing.
Just yeah. But from what I read and saw just at a quick glance, Dash got even better, which I was surprised, or not surprised, I should say. And Big Bad Wolf with his taunt purge, his purging taunt, whatever it does. I don't even know what it does.
Hold on, I'll read it. All right. I did the homework and I have the spreadsheets pulled up. His first special, or his special A at level 4, purges taunt from target opponent. And then also on defeating a hero opponent on his second special, he gains an extra turn. So he gets the Zerg and the Shan Yu effect.
Oh shit.
Oh crap, he's good now. He's better now.
I mean,
You
he's
know,
better. I
to
don't see
to
him being meta defining.
to add to Big Bad Wolf, I was actually kind of disappointed with his last ability, the sheep. Now I see that he gets if he defeats someone with it, he goes again. But I wish they would have put a new buff on him where the character that attacks him gets confused if he's the sheep or if he's the wolf, and it kind of does a new ability for him. I was kind of disappointed that wasn't something maybe down the road, but
Maybe. Well, they did buff his damage to heroes. They gave him 10% on his passive damage dealt to hero characters, so he's going to be hitting hard. I don't know many people with a T7 Big Bad Wolf, but I would assume it hits decently hard. Miko, what are your thoughts? You took notes. You were my top grade A student today.
You outed me.
I did. Well, everybody else was kind of guessing and hopping along, so it kind of left you out in the dark there. So, what did you learn?
Okay, so I was really impressed with Sally's buff
For those,
because her basic. Oh, no, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, for those of us who didn't do the homework, what's Sally's buff?
Yeah, I'm lost.
I don't know.
I'm about to
Tell
tell
me.
you. I'm about to tell you. Her basic gives 20% chance to gain an extra attack if the target is affected by fear.
Okay.
And one of her specials now has a 25% chance for slow. Another special has 50% damage dealt. And a passive has a 10% chance for undefeatable.
Nice.
And she was already like pretty slept on. She was pretty good.
I actually agree with Sally. I loved Sally. I loved throwing Sally out there with the mass blind and then following it up with Chunk's second hit where it just increases duration. That was fun. That was a fun little team. So Sally definitely sounds like they've gotten better. Like all these
Oh,
guys
yeah.
have gotten better, but
I mean, a lot of the characters got better.
They
Don't
I
get
have
me
did.
one
wrong.
more that really needs to be touched on, though.
okay, let's go. Let's go, Miko. Let's hear it.
Baloo. Baloo got a buff.
Baloo is OP.
And that's really important to me.
Is it? Do you have a T7 Baloo?
I don't, but it's my next goal. Like, Baloo is close to my heart, and his time is coming. He got buffed, so he's clearly working up to the new meta.
I don't know. Yzma though. Yzma's
No,
catching
Baloo.
a. Okay,
Baloo.
fine. All right, but no, mine is certainly Jessie from Toy Story is the most improved character.
What does Jesse do?
I'm listening.
I absolutely have no idea. That was a bullshit answer. I don't know what she does
Wow.
either. No. My favorite is Zurg, and I've been a Zurg guy. I think he's fallen out of favor way too early for no reason. I'm gonna read you what they did to this character, and keep in mind that Hero is the fastest character in the game and can immediately make him go next. Let's keep that in mind. His basic on level 4 is 30% bonus damage dealt. His first special is that's the essentially the incinerate ability is 20% bonus damage dealt. Like it needed that anyway because he already gets attack up. His second special, 10% chance to chain to an adjacent opponent as well. His passive at level 3, that's the shoot off at the beginning of the turn. That's 50% bonus damage dealt. And then his other one is it decreases the required magic by 1. Let's not also forget that they gave Zurg a speed buff as well. So he's now faster too.
Because that was needed.
It was definitely needed.
He was slow.
So Zurg, for those who don't have Zurg yet, and you will face him eventually, in a PvP sense, he was a monster before. He's an even better monster now. He's definitely more manageable in Sorcerers tournament. Because it's AI. But other than that, like that's my favorite one. They've made him into what he's supposed to be, and what he was initially when he came out was just this. If you didn't have him and you faced him, he's gonna ruin your day in many cases. So that is my favorite. So then up next, before we move on to our hot takes, is there anyone that you feel didn't get a lot of love or that you're really interested in looking at and seeing what they did to him, since some of us, again, didn't do our homework?
I would like to add who I thought got the best bang for their buck.
Oh, Bew, did I forget you?
Yeah, I forgot, but you know.
I am on my third or fourth double jack, so to be fair, you continue on, big boy.
Yeah, so I mean, if anyone knows me, they know that I have an affinity for Merida, and
like the redheads.
That's where, that's where my eyes gravitated towards this, and I thought, man, if I could put a continuous damage team together, you know, with Hades, with his buffs, Shere Khan with his continuous damage. Pocahontas also got a new ability that helps continuous damage. You know, Frederick, the new character, it might have some theory crap potential, but you know, she gets speed meter on the Will of the Wisps with her fourth ability. The Choose Your Fate is if you defeat somebody, it's kind of like a 2-for-1, especially if you have all 4 Will of the Wisps. Then you can hit with the Choose Your Fate and then, you know, rain the arrows for the continuous damage. Plus, it does a lot of damage too. I think the Wilds might be, you know, they're not in a great place. You know, they're not going to, you know, punch up to your meta teams, but
You
I
don't know
think
that.
she's in a good place.
What was that, Miko?
I said he doesn't know that.
What?
I know everything.
I love the wilds. You don't know if they're gonna punch up or not.
That's
I
true.
mean, they are wild, so
That is true. I mean, I think we can all say that these changes, for better or worse, with glue and how they've done things, these changes have diversified things to a good extent within this game so far. So there are positives to take away from it. So with that, I will go ahead and move us on to our last subject, and that is a hot take section. And I noticed that one of us didn't quite know what a hot take was. So essentially, it is a very profound and out there take that you are confident in that isn't exactly been proven yet. As an example, in the last podcast, I decided my hot take was going to be that Oceanics was going to be the top team in the meta within a week or two after its release. I was wrong. Another hot take was that Toy Story was going to surpass Kingdom when it first came out and be the top team in the meta with Bo Peep lead. I was wrong. So that's the example of some hot takes. So, Bude, give me a hot take.
starting me off. Well, so when I look at the hero collection right now, I see that the villains, are lacking, and there's not a lot of them. And I think the last villains to be implemented in the game were Lotso and friends. So I hope I have 100 out of 145 shards for Maleficent, and I think that Maleficent might come before raid, and it will be in a tower mode where the last section of that you fight the Maleficent dragon to get a 7-star Maleficent.
That is a lengthy and, if it comes true, hot take would be amazing. Let's poll the audience. Do we think that one's happening?
Mm.
Well, how Maleficent is, you would get her at what, 5 stars, correct?
I think she
Probably.
would be
145 is 5
6
stars.
because I think Baymax you got after the 5th event,
It's
I
5
believe. You get,
stars.
5
yeah,
stars.
he
She's a
comes at 5.
145
So
on lock, right? She's 5 stars.
Yes.
but if it goes through the tower, you'd get
And
shards
that's
for
how
her,
you would
and
maybe get 6 to
yeah,
7,
and then once
maybe.
you have a 6-star Maleficent, you fight the dragon at the end of the last tower to get the 7 stars.
I could see that. As long as it's better than the Stitch Tower and, you know, easier to, stuff with, sure, I'm all for it. The Stitch Tower, who doesn't love the Stitch Tower in this game?
As long as the whole community doesn't get to play for 3 hours, or half of us don't get to play it for 3 hours
Yeah, true.
before the rest of us do.
Yeah,
What?
true. How does that feel, True?
It feels good. I have a T7 Stitch. It feels great.
Yeah. This this
As long as
man's was one of
as
those
long as
guys. Oh,
as long as I get to evoke the dragon, I'll be happy.
anyone?
I could have been one of them, but I started the tower and I was like, and I went back to sleep.
See, sleep does not pay. Sleep is not good for you, kids. Do
Biggest
not worry
mistake
about
of my
sleep.
life.
Stay up and play games. Play games, drink soda, all of that. It's all good for you. All good for you. All right. True. What's your hot take?
I know everyone's kind of bashing on Big Hero 6, but I do think that they'll be better than Frozen from what I've seen, even with all their bugs that's going on.
Ooh.
And there's some pretty bad bugs.
Yeah.
That's spicy.
It is spicy. Who agrees that Big Hero 6 is going to be better than Frozen once all said is done? Once all that is said is done.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. I mean, I think we haven't unlocked the full potential of Big Hero 6, and just looking at some people test it's a long battle, but they start to win with speed and all the debuffs they can bring. But I can see that happening.
Does anyone else hear Bude's voice being really funky?
I do.
Hey, Bude,
Yep.
step out of the chat real quick and then come back in. Now that he's gone, we can talk crap, right? Yeah. Hi, Bude. We weren't saying nothing.
How about now?
Oh, much better.
There you go.
Can you repeat what you just said before we asked you to leave and talked crap about you?
Well, what was the question?
Where's your memory? This is the question.
It left the voice channel.
Oh God, you best. It's like Pan Shaddy. You can't let that thing get away. Or it's gonna cause all sorts of trouble.
I agree with Prawn's assessment. I think that Big Hero 6, we haven't unlocked the potential of Big Hero 6 yet, and it looks like just looking at everyone else's initial testing that it is a long battle, but they start to win with their debuffs and their speed, and I think that once we unlock the full potential, that they will combat Frozen and at least have a balanced meta. Not, oh, this team is better than the other. Just I think Big Hero 6 will be on the same level as Frozen.
My thing is, do they start to win or do they just prolong the match till it times out?
I mean, that's a
'Cause
fair. That's fair.
That's what I see happening.
I
They
mean,
don't have any
I've seen somebody with uh, tier 7 Baymax win with 30 left, 30 turns left.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
You have to put them on equal playing fields because not everyone has them T7 7-star with the abilities right now, so it's hard to say.
yeah.
I'm still, even with the T7, I'm still thinking that they're going to be a much better defensive team to time people out who are trying to get at you in a Sorcerers tournament. That kind of thing.
Now we could see a hybrid, and I'm gonna throw this out there. Say you replaced Team Hero, Baymax, Honey Lemon, Wasabi, and honestly, Dash. I think if no offense to Go, but Dash it does what she does and does it a whole lot better in my opinion right now. And the reason it would be Dash would be want to keep Golden Hammer and make sure because every single one of these guys, including Baymax, can be revived with the undefeatable or invincible. I can't remember which one it is with Hammer because they're all downtown heroes. Like that's something I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Like every single one of these, not only are they tech and Big Hero 6, so they're fast, they're also downtown heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't die.
I think that was just a given.
I think so, but I haven't seen anyone bring it up, and usually some smartass in general of the main server brings something like that up, so I figured I'd be the smartass this time. But in any case, I think the assessment of not having enough damage is probably correct, even if Wasabi is fully leveled up. And I think it's a natural place to have a plug and play like Dash in there because you don't need like a Scrooge because you already have Baymax and Honey Lemon doing a lot of work. So that's my thought on that. And my hot take is it's going to be I don't even know. I think everybody will forget about all in 3 months. I think everybody will forget about a Big Hero 6 team and just be focusing only on how Baymax can be a plug and play.
I've been
agree with
already
that.
trying Baymax and hybrid teams.
And I say that hot take because true. How many times have I talked about a true pre-taunt in this game?
I mean, I did read in one of the upgrades. I forget which tank it is, but one of them starts with a taunt. I forget.
If you can find that one, because as far as I know, Baymax is the only one who just starts with it. But Hold on.
Or there, I must have read it wrong.
Yeah, I don't think they would have added that on to somebody else because it's such a new thing. It makes sense for a legendary character. But even if they have another one, that's great. I think that sort of effect.
It might be Oogie Boogie.
I have my list in front of me. We're gonna
I
look at
don't
Oogie
think so.
Boogie. If Oogie Boogie has it, that'd be funny because I like Oogie Boogie. Nope, not Oogie Boogie.
And
The only problem with Baymax is his taunt is only one turn, unlike Kristoff's.
But that's something that's helpful because the pre-taunt, the effectiveness does it since it's up. It's not like a Kristoff. Like against the Frozen team, I'll use this example. With the current comp I'm running, even if they have a Kristoff, I'm not worried because I can still go hero into Zerg, into kill Dash, into kill as long as I don't hit Anna a lot, like right off the bat. I can usually have the two main damage dealers or like Elsa and Dash down in my current comp without a problem. Because it's gotten to that point where even Kristoff is being outsped by a hero, which can then make Zerg get ahead of the team. I haven't lost to a Frozen team in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Take that as a challenge.
I mean, I believe you. I'm sure I've seen a lot of people who don't play Frozen right too. But Baymax, in my strategy, for that strategy, if he has the pre-taunt, I'm forced to Zerg a Baymax first or change the strategy. And even if I try and one-shot a Baymax, if it's on equal footing, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's going to be like trying to one-shot a Kristoff right off the bat. It doesn't work. So I think that's the power of the pre-taunt and the fact that the pre-taunt does not care if he's on a big Hero 6 team or not. Like if it was, I think he would be much less effective and more thematic if they had like his taunt be an ability taunt if he's not with like a big Hero 6 team or something like that. But the fact that he gets to pre-taunt without doing anything and not have to be synergized with like the whole big Hero 6 team is why I think he's going to be a premier plug and play, even more so than Elsa, honestly, or even Dash. There's my hot take. Baymax, once he's leveled up and ready to go, will be more of a plug and play character than Dash, Hero, or Zerg.
I think Hero will still be the most dominant plug and play character, just because of how his kit is, even after his nerf.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm a lot less worried about Hero now, though, because his shields ain't shit.
But the evasion is still there.
It's true. So, Bude, Miko, what are your thoughts on that hot take?
I can see Baymax being a major player in the plug and plays. I'm not sure if he will be the biggest one. I'm not sure about that.
And Bude, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree with her. From my testing of him, I don't think he'll be the biggest one.
Dude, I'm not.
The biggest one might be
Your mic is so horrible. Let's go ahead. I'm going to have you jump back up and jump back in, Bude. Your mic hates me. Now that he's gone again. He's back.
I'm back.
All right, Bude, let's try that one more time.
I agree with Miko. I don't think he's going to be the biggest plug and play. Yeah, so I agree with her.
Fair enough. Well, I'm 0 for 3 on hot takes, so we'll make it 0 for 4 anyway, so it's okay. All right, guys, so that goes ahead, and this is our list. I'll leave it with all of us are now centered in 2 of the top 3 clubs in the game. So it's a interesting perspective. We're all matched up along with the Disney Titans in Club Conquest, the new Club Conquest, better Club Conquest.
We hope.
We hope. The mutators look kind of fun and interesting.
The mutated Club Conquest.
Yes. So what? Maybe Miko, you can even say that it's us a little bit, leading one of the clubs. And Black Spire for a while was up there, but then just the game started kind of going awry and people were leaving. What does this top level play? And I can already tell, at least Discord server, and I'm assuming True Frontierland as their own as well. There's a lot more strategizing at this level and thought put in. What what do you think the biggest difference between high level functioning Club Conquest club is versus something that's more below top 10?
Well, even when you're in the top 10, the top 3 definitely works differently because, as you can see, there's not a very large power gap between Frontierland and Titans. And then there's about a 2 million power gap between us and Frontierland. And whereas Frontierland has a bunch of really awesome whale players that kick ass and shell out money to get the newest meta, Titans is mostly sitting on their beta cushion, and that's where they're getting all their power from. So it's really imbalanced between the three of us. So it works totally differently.
Gotcha. Is there any sort of animosity toward that's something we can end with. Everyone's favorite things. Do you think beta players have an unfair advantage in this game, and should they have been somehow segmented in a different area or something like that? What's everyone's thoughts on that? Miko, since you maybe have some of the more experience, what do you think first? And then Bude.
I do think that they should have been brought in later in the game. Most games do that. I don't think it was very fair to have them just keep playing as global launch players began to play. But that's just my 2 cents on it. It makes the game very imbalanced.
Dude, what's your thought? I know when we were in Black Spire, we saw a decent amount of beta clubs for a while. What's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, they should have probably got reset at global launch.
Gotcha. True. Your thoughts?
I think just the main issue from what the beta players had and what we have as global is the ability runes and how tough they are and how they changed that even after global. I feel like that was the main issue. I feel like if that wasn't an issue, no one would, not no one, but wouldn't be as big of a problem.
Also, in my opinion, the T7s, because like the game used to be so different and it used to be much, much easier to T7 up a character.
See, that's something.
That's why they have so many.
Gotcha. So was it just were gear requirements easier at that level? I was not a beta player, so I am not very familiar with it.
I don't know the like exact details because I wasn't a beta player either. I just know that the requirements were, easier and they have evolved and changed as they got towards launch. And that I mean DSA used to be a 3v3 game. It didn't even used to be 5 tunes per team. So it's changed a lot.
Makes sense. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. This is going to be an interesting experience for all of us here. Coming into new clubs, we're going to enjoy it. At least that's my opinion. And no one can really dissuade me from that. Exactly. So that is going to do it up for the podcast here right now. Thank you to all who came here. Miko, thank you for joining us, Fearless Leader. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely true. You're the best as always. Thank you for being here. And Bude, outside of your mic and all that, and probably the half-empty bottle of alcohol, we're gonna be good. So thank you for being here with us as well, my friend.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, guys. I've been Will DSA. This has been the Other Side Podcast. We'll catch you again whenever the hell we feel like talking some more, and catch you on the other side. Take care, everybody.